What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another State of Affairs video where I do a monthly wrap-up and talk about all the things that happened last month on the channel and talk briefly about some of the things that I'm planning for this month on the channel. I believe we've got a little bit to get through, and it's been a pretty exciting month. I mean, it's been a busy month for me, and May is going to be even busier. But let's just go ahead and jump right into the state of things and kind of talk about some of the things that are going on. Starting off, as usual, with last month's videos with performance. I'm just going to briefly cover all of the videos that came out last month with a little bit of view count. First up was my first Fortnite on the Isle for the month, 2nd of April, 15 views, nothing to talk about there. I did my March reading wrap-up and April TBR video, which only got 9 views, surprisingly. I think that's the fewest amount of views that one of my reading wrap-up and TBR videos has gotten in quite a long time. I'm actually rather shocked by that, but considering all the other stuff that went down this month, I'm not too unhappy with it either way. Next up was my March 2023 book haul video, which got 50 views. That was a little bit more than normal there. Don't really have much to talk about other than what I said briefly at the beginning of that video, which was that will be the last monthly book haul video that I do on this channel, at least for a while. I'm switching over to quarterly book hauls, so my next one won't come out until not for a couple months at least. I don't remember specifically what month it will come out, but you know, this was the last monthly one up to this point, so that one got 50 views. That was pretty nice. Next up, I did my State of Affairs last month. That got 21 views, which was actually more views than I think my State of Affairs normally get at this point in time, so that I was pretty happy with. Next up was basically my full series review of The Sun Eater, where I talked about all the things that I loved so much about that series, and then briefly at the end asked for sci-fi recommendations, things that people think I might enjoy based off of what I said I enjoyed in The Sun Eater. So that video got, how many was it? 33 views? Not unhappy with that at all. That's actually pretty decent, all things considered. So, especially considering that was, I don't know, probably like the 9th Sun Eater related video or something like that on my channel. So the fact that people continue to watch my ramblings is amazing. Let me make sure. Yeah, that was that. Okay. So the next video that I released after that was a little bit of a different one that I had a lot of fun with, was how I determine my TBR and reading schedule. This one got 23 views. I had a fun time discussing this one where I basically go through, some of the things that goes through my head as I determine and decide kind of the stuff that I do with my TBR, and how I say that mood reads and kind of more spur of the moment type stuff generally doesn't affect my TBR, but if you watched my TBR and monthly reading wrap-up video from this past Tuesday, so not too long ago, just a few days ago, you'll know that there was a pretty big change in my TBR this month that is actually really going to affect me. So that was a fun video that I did. Next up was just another Fortnite on the Isle, got 25 views, so that was even quite a bit more than normal somehow. Not sure how or why. I'm happy with it either way. I think part of it might have been the fact that this was the first video I recorded with my new camera, so I think people wanted to see if it actually looked a little bit better, because I'll tell you what, this setup has been really nice for me for a lot of reasons, but my old webcam that I recorded with was not one of those reasons. So the next video that I did was review of The Master and Margarita by Mikhail Bulgakov. I pronounced that terribly. I'm so sorry. This one got 60 views. Huge surprise for me. I'm very shocked that any review would get 60 views in its, first couple weeks after release. But this one got most of those views. I want to say about 55 of those views in the first 5 days. And I was like, no review should be doing that, let alone a book like this. So that very much surprised me, but I'm obviously very grateful for that. It did really well, and I'm happy with it completely either way. Next up, I did a general video saying that I'm starting the Wheel of Time in May, which I have begun, actually. In fact, this last Thursday would have been my first Wheel of Time diary video, where I talk about my reading experience with the book, or with the first book, at least, I should say. This video got 54 views. It was pretty nice. I actually got quite a bit of reception. I think it's always surprising to me how much popularity Wheel of Time seems to have, not just on social platforms, but also just in general, especially when you compare it to, say, something like Lord of the Rings, which is a far more popular series. I mean, everybody knows Lord of the Rings, but Lord of the Rings content doesn't really get much traction because I think people already know it well enough at this point that they don't need to watch it. And Wheel of Time fans are also the type of fans who want to see what people are saying, because there's always somebody new starting the series, it seems like, every day. I am now one of those people. So I did a video talking about the fact that I was going to be starting the series and what I was expecting to get out of it, more or less. So I had fun with that. Like I said, it got 54 views, quite a bit. But next up was my best performing video of the month, a review of Pride and Prejudice. Of all videos, I was not expecting this one to be my best performing one, especially since this is my shortest video that I've done in probably almost a year at this point. This one got 91 views and an absurd amount of impressions, which we'll talk about a little bit later. It's actually really insane. Like I said, 91 views. Of all of the videos that I expected to get 91 views in the first, like 2 or 3 days after release, this would not have been the one that I would have guessed that. Either way, performed very well. I'm super grateful for that. Like, incredibly grateful for that. So thank you to everybody who decided to watch that one. Next up, I did also do a discussion video where I talked about doing spoiler talks or reading diary type of stuff because I knew that I was going to be doing this for Wheel of Time, hence the thumbnail having Wheel of Time covers held in it. This video got 47 views, so actually a lot more than I was anticipating. I figured that this one might get, like a dozen views at most if I was lucky, especially since I had just done a video talking about my starting Wheel of Time the week before. So this video actually performed rather well, so thanks for that again, as always. And then, of course, it was just the last video on the last day of the month, the 30th of April. Another Fortnite on the Isle only has 7 views so far because I'm recording this like 24 hours after the video released. So 7 views is actually perfectly acceptable for that. So either way, that was all of the videos that came out this month with their performance. Very, very good month for me in terms of my videos. So thank you to everybody who's continued to watch, to anybody who may or may not be sharing my videos to certain people, because it seems like something's going on to cause my channel to grow a lot more this month. Again, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's talk about last month's writing, because April was actually rather great for me. I talked about last month that I got about 9,000 words added to stage 2 of pre-writing for the Reign of Ash sequence, my whole big epic fantasy thing that I am working on. I got, like I said, 9,000 words added to that. I want to say about 11 of the 19 books I had done by the end of March. In April, I did get to finish that up. I got all 19 books done. I added another 9,300 words this month, so stage 2 is completely done. I did actually get some plans started as well for revising stage 2 a little bit before I move on to stage 3, which is actually outlining. As well, in April, I also got finished building up my Excel trackers for the Reign of Ash, so that is now complete. So all I have to do is enter a couple blocks of information each day that I write, and boom, everything else in terms of statistics that I want to keep track of is done, especially since some of those statistics are going to be integrated with Google Sheets onto my website at some point once I'm able to get that rebuilt, or, finish editing up some of the pages for that. And a couple other announcements, which I will talk a little bit more on later. Next up, let's talk about some channel statistics, just as normal. This one was actually fantastic month. It was, I want to say it was my best performing month at all. Let me double check to see if that is the truth. That was not the right file. I think it was. Yeah, this month was completely my best performing month, even after January, and January was an insane month for me. So let me talk about some of the things that happened. First off, I got 544 views, which was 4% increase from last month. That might seem like a small increase, but all of the views that I got this month seemed actually genuine. Like they were actually, they were organic. That's the word that I'm looking for, because last month, like 120 of those views that I got last month seemed like it was somebody just on one of my Sun Eater videos that was like refreshing it repeatedly, like multiple times, like dozens of times every day for 2 or 3 days, because nothing about that video's stats in terms of impressions or watch time or anything changed or, increased. In fact, my watch time for it actually really like decreased in terms of average. Because like I said, I think it was just a video being refreshed a million times. And that's where most of those views came from. So a lot of them I don't think were organic, as opposed to this month where all of these views very much organic based off of the statistics. Especially when we look into watch hours, I got 34.5 watch hours, which was a 12% increase from last month, and even better than January when I got 34.2 watch hours. So January was already my biggest month by quite a margin, and then I had another big month that had like 30 watch hours. I got nearly 35 this month, very, very exciting stuff. Again, thank you to everybody who has been watching my material. I very much appreciate that. Let me make sure that said increase like it was supposed to. Next up, I'm going to include another portion to this channel statistics because of some interesting findings that I had this month. I had 31,165 total impressions this month. And if you don't know what impressions are on YouTube, an impression is when a video that you post is advertised to somebody. So if it is recommended to them, either in the sidebar of one of their video pages, whenever they click on something, or it's in their recommended feed, or if it's on their suggestions on the home page of YouTube, stuff like that. Those are considered impressions. 31,165 impressions sounds like an absolutely absurd amount, and it is. You can already see the percentage increase, 138.6% increase from March. Now, let me go ahead and back this up with a little bit of other fun statistics. I don't have numbers for this, but let me tell you what. Not a single month in 2022 got over, I believe, a maximum of 7,000 impressions. There might have been one that had 8,000. I don't remember for sure. But if there wasn't, not a single month got above 7,000 impressions. And that was the months combined in total. This year, just between January and March, from those 3 months together, I had about 34,000 impressions. So I had nearly as many impressions this month as I did over the first quarter of the year combined, which is absolutely insane to me. But now we go to talk about a little bit more of the specific videos. So there were specific videos that had a lot of impressions. Those were the review of Master and Margarita, the starting Wheel of Time video, the review of Pride and Prejudice, and the discussion about reading diaries and spoiler talks. All of those had 3,000+ impressions. A couple of them had 3,000. One of them had 3.4 thousand. One of them had over 7,000 impressions. That was the Pride and Prejudice review. I had over as many impressions on the Pride and Prejudice review alone as I had in almost any single month in 2022. And that just blows my mind. Like, just, looking at some of those fun statistics stuff, it's like insane. And you can also see where kind of some of that stuff affects my channel growth as well when we look at subscribers. I had a net gain of 10 subscribers in April, and that's my largest net gain of subscribers ever in any month, period, especially since 2022 when I started doing this whole booktube sort of thing. 10 subscribers is a lot. I'm now at a total of 451. There was a long time there where I doubted I would ever reach 450 subscribers, let alone do it this year. I was like, my goal is to get 450 subs this year and keep those 450 subs. So now I'm just like, well, if I can keep my average at 450 subscribers for the rest of 2023, I'll be very happy. So, this month just happened to get me there a bit early. Let's see if we can keep it. Again, all very exciting stuff. I'm very proud of that fact. Now let's talk about some of the stuff that I'm working on this month, because it is going to be a crazy month. First things first, the first couple weeks of this month have been / will be taken up by going back to my old high school once again to do more drumming for their choir projects and doing stuff like that. So that's going to take a lot of my time and brain power the first half of this month, but after that should be pretty free. Here in a week or so, I'm going to be graduating from college finally, so I'm excited for that as well. And then there's a lot of relaxing to do. I was writing the notes for this, and I was like, I have some relaxing to do in May, and I'm starting to think that's definitely not going to be the case, like I said, because I'm graduating and because of some of this drumming stuff that I'm going to be doing this month. And then there's a lot of gaming that I want to do this month as well, because I'm currently recording footage for Jedi Fallen Order, doing my third playthrough of that game because Jedi Survivor came out recently, which I'm actually planning and hoping to do a Let's Play of, so maybe I'll be able to do that this month. Who knows? Recently, I did do a couple of videos on the Crowsworn demo that released for Kickstarter backers back last year. I finally got a couple runs of that recorded, and, just until I beat the boss a few times and did so with quote-unquote ease, because it was actually pretty difficult to do that. Tears of the Kingdom, the new Zelda game, comes out here in just a few days, I believe, at the time of this video's release. Like, when does this video come out? Like, I don't even know. Is it the 6th? Yeah, so Tears of the Kingdom comes out in like a week. So that'll be crazy. I'm going to be doing more of Remnant from the Ashes with Josh. Might do some crab game with him. I have a Let's Play of Resident Evil 4 Remake that I need to record over the next couple months at some point, because I want that to be my next solo Let's Play. So, yeah, like I said, a lot of stuff going on this month on that front, but even just outside of that front, there's a lot of other stuff as well. Lots more videos coming out. I have lots more to plan, lots more to record and get edited. I was hoping that I would have done by the end of this month, but I do not have done yet. So, like, there's a lot that I have to get caught up on that front. I have a little bit of writing revisions to do, as I mentioned, to do before I begin outlining for the Reign of Ash. I have my website that I need to update, plus a newsletter to build for it. Check out the most recent Fortnite on the Isle for more info on that. I talk about that a little bit more in depth. And there's some other things that I'm sure I'm forgetting at the moment as well. So come to think, yeah, May is not going to be relaxing at all. Maybe in June I'll finally have a chance to slow down. No time to relax. So, with that being said, that is the end of the state of affairs. Thank you for watching all the way through. If you did, I really appreciate it. And sorry if I talk really quick in this video. I've been excited about stuff that I was talking about in this video, and I've been trying to keep my state of affairs videos shorter because people don't watch them quite as much or for as long as most of my other content. So I want to keep them a little bit on the shorter end if I can, so that, you know, people will actually see some of the information that I'm excited to talk about. So either way, yeah, that is going to be the end of this monthly wrap up. On Tuesday will be my review of The Way of a Dan by Philip Chase. I'm very excited for that review. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back in the next video. Where are my controls? They're over here. See ya.